Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing again on some topics, with chapter 3, that is Nationalism in India. Today we'll be touching topics such as the tribal movement which happened in Andhra Pradesh, and also we'll be dealing about the Swaraj and the plantation workers, and also we'll be dealing with the Chauri chaura incidents, which led to the closing of the non-cooperation movement happened, and it was led by Alluri Sitaram Raju, who claimed himself to have superpowers in him, and he also said that he was able to survive a bullet, and he said that he could even heal people, so he thought himself to be an incarnation of God, as a rebirth of God, and he was the one who led the movement in Andhra Pradesh. So the Gudam Hills, it's located in Andhra Pradesh. You can just check in the map. So these people, revolted against the British Raj because these were tribal people, and the British were interfering in their private life. And also, what happened was that their life was very simple, but when the British entered their life, their tribal people began to suffer at large. So what happened was that these people adopted the guerrilla militant, or militant guerrilla. So what they did was they trained the tribal peoples in the jungle. So when we say militant guerrilla, it will be in terms of underground. Those armies which are underground, and they attack the people without notice. So this happened in the Gudam Hills in Andhra Pradesh. We'll be looking into the causes of the movement. So what happened was the British administration, what happened was that most of the areas the British did not occupy the territories, because they didn't want to expand their territories at large, and for them not being able to look after it. So the British, they didn't interfere in most of the areas. But unfortunately, Gudam Hill was on their path, and they brought Gudam Hills, which is there in Andhra Pradesh, under their control. At first, the Gudam Hill people, they were living a very simple life. They depended on the forest for everything. But when the British came, they took their freedom away. And so what happened when they came? The village chief or the tribal chief was made the zamindars. He was asked to collect revenue from the people of the Gudam Hills. And with this, the chiefs were made zamindars. New policies of revenue collection, tax was also imposed on the hill people, which was not existent at all. And one important thing that they did was they wanted to spread Christianity in the Gudam Hills as well. So when the British came, they brought Christian missionaries along with them, and they wanted to transform almost the whole part of India into Christianity, to follow Christianity. Likewise, in the Gudam Hills also, they brought Christian missionaries to invoke the ideas of Christianity among the Gudam Hill people. And next, colonialism also, it led to the starting of moneylanders. Zamindars was already there. They were collecting tax and revenue. So people in the Gudam Hills, they were not able to produce as much, pay the revenue. So what they did was they had to go to the moneylanders. They will take money from the moneylenders. Also, what happened? Traders began to emerge in the Gudam Hills. Gudam Hills was mostly a forest based tribal people. They depended on the forest. They never knew what trade was. They never knew what market was. But what happened when the British entered? Zamindari system came in. people began to lend money from the money lenders. Traders began to sweep in the Gudam Hills, okay, and also middlemen who played a dual role, okay. They will pass information to the Gudam Hill people, okay, as well as they will give news to the British people. Middlemen began to appear in the Gudam Hill region. And so what happened in a very short period of time, okay, what happened was that people began to lose their land. People began to move away from their land, okay, because they were not able to pay rent, so they had to give away their houses, they have to give away their agricultural land, they have to give everything off, okay, like the rest of India, okay. So the peasants had to give away everything that they have, okay. And colonialism, okay, when the British entered the Gudam Hills, it changed everything, okay. Likewise, they depended on the forest for their food, they depended on the forest for their medicinal, okay. They depended on the forest to feed their cattle, okay. The forest was their life, okay, and it went on for decades and decades. But when the British came in, there came about new laws, there came about new restrictions, and they even had to ban the forest, okay. And now with this ban, the people of the Gudam Hill, the tribes of the Gudam Hill, they were not able to access the forest. They cannot extract any resources from the forest because now it was the property of the British people, okay. With this, the whole power of the tribal people in the Gudam Hills became to be very, very, very less, okay. With this, okay, what happened? They introduced the Beggar System in Gudam Hills as well. When we say beggar, means a person working under the British government, okay, he will not be paid any kind of money as a monthly pay or anything, okay. He will just be provided with the house and food by the British government. So this system came about in the Gudam Hill areas as well, okay. This, however, was disturbing the life of the people and hampering the people as well, okay. So because of this reason, the people wanted to revolt, okay. So Alluri Sitaram, okay, who himself thought that he was a rebirth of a god, okay, should protect as well as should start a movement to protect his people, okay. And with this, okay, Alluri Sitaram also was inspired by Gandhiji's non-cooperation movement, okay. He was so inspired by Gandhiji's non-cooperation movement, and he requested his people to wear khadi as well as to make khadi, okay? And he also wanted his people in the Gudam Hills to give up drinking, only after which they would be able to fight against the British, okay. But here Alluri Sitaram, okay, he was so much influenced by Gandhiji, but he didn't look in the views of Gandhiji. He thought that by not cooperating, by using peaceful ways, by using satyagraha, we will not achieve anything, okay. We have to use force, okay, in order to win against the British Raj, okay. So in Gudam Hills, what happened? They tried to kill many British officers, okay. They attempted to kill many British officers. They also adopted guerrilla warfare, okay, where they will hide and they will attack the British officers, okay. This kind of incident happened in the Gudam Hills, okay. But unfortunately, Alluri Sitaram Raju, okay, he was captured and he was killed in 1924, okay, with which the movement in the Gudam Hills came to an end. But till to this day, Alluri Sitaram, okay, is considered as a hero for the Gudam Hill people and in Andhra Pradesh as well, okay. Moving on, we'll be dealing with Swaraj and the plantation workers, Okay, most of the plantation workers, that will be in terms of peasants and the farmers who were working under the pressure of the British people, okay, they all started this movement. Okay, so moving on, these peasants, they wanted freedom. Okay, they wanted freedom, they wanted to be free from the British rule, they wanted to have a free life, because of which they started the Swaraj, the Satyagraha and the Non-Cooperation Movement, okay, in this region. And we will be talking about one specific group of people in this topic. Okay, so the plantation workers in Assam. Okay, so tea was produced at large in Assam for the fulfillment of the British people. Okay, and so a huge number of people were working under the British in cultivating tea. Okay, so they will be talking about the Non-Cooperation Movement, which was led by these plantation workers. So Inland Immigration Act, okay, this was an act which was passed in 1859. According to this act, okay, no one would be allowed. All the plantation workers will not be allowed by the British people to leave or to go to their native place without the permission of the British people. Okay, so this was a law which was passed by the British people, that no plantation workers would be able to go home, okay, until they asked the permission of the British people. But when the Non-Cooperation Movement came about in Assam, okay, what happened? Most of the people, they thought in a different way, and they thought that this Non-Cooperation Movement made the peasants to leave, made them to leave their plantation in thousands. Okay, so when the non-cooperation happened, all the plantation workers, they thought that they are free now, okay, without understanding what the actual non-cooperation movement was. They started leaving their plantation work because they thought that they were free from the British people. So what happened? All of them joined their hands, and they started leaving the plantation work. Okay, but unfortunately, what happened when they boarded the trains? Okay, and when they set out on their way to their village, okay, what happened? Their trains were stopped. Okay, their trains were held down by the British people and by the sepoys, and huge number of people were caught by the British. They started beating them up, okay, and they were all brought back to their plantation in order to work again. Okay, so that was how it was. Okay, the people thought that they were free to go back, whereas the non-cooperation movement was just not to cooperate with the British people, so that at the next instance they will be freed from the British. Okay, but when the non-cooperation came in, the plantation workers, they thought that they were free to go back to their villages. Okay, so when they started setting out, okay, they were brutally beaten by the British people. Okay, and in some instances, some plantation worker people, they also died in this kind of incident. Okay, so most of the people, when they started for a non-cooperation movement, they all demanded for a Swatantra Bharat. Okay, Swatantra Bharat means a free India. Okay, so their main purpose was to get freed from the British, okay, and to make India an independent country. Okay, so the non-cooperation movement differed from place to place. Okay, so the non-cooperation movement in Delhi area, it was different. Okay, so in some portions like Bengal, the non-cooperation movement, they had different demands. Okay, so it differed from place to place. The non-cooperation, they had the same ideology, but their demand was different. Okay, next is the incident leading to the civil disobedient movement. Okay, so here comes the Chauri incident. Okay, So because of the Chauri chaura incident, the non-cooperation movement had to be suspended, had to be cut off, okay, because of the Chauri chaura incident, which happened in February 1922. So the Chauri chaura is located in Uttar Pradesh, okay, and so what happened in this? So the non-cooperation movement was at large going on in most parts of India, okay. So here in Uttar Pradesh as well, in Chauri chaura, what happened? So the people started the protest movement against the British people, but okay, non-cooperation movement was based on the ideology of non-violence, okay, but the people of Chauri chaura, they resorted to violence, okay. They destroyed the police station, okay, and they burned the police station down. They also attacked a number of policemen, okay. So around a huge number of police who were working under the British were also killed and injured with this incident, okay. So unfortunately, after this incident which happened in Chauri chaura, okay, in 12 February 1922, Gandhiji had to suspend the non-cooperation movement, okay, because his ideology was based on the non-cooperation movement, which was based on, okay, non-violent, okay, and it was based on Swaraj as well. So large number of people criticized Gandhiji, okay, but there were also some critics like leaders and critics like Motilal Nehru, C.R. Das, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, who said that incident which happened in a small area could not affect the whole of the non-cooperation movement, okay. Why is the non-cooperation movement being affected by such a small incident which happened in a corner of a place, okay? That was the question they made to Gandhiji, okay. But Gandhiji's views was that the non-cooperation movement was based on the ideas of non-violence, okay, and the people had violated it, and because of which I have to suspend the non-cooperation movement, okay. So with this, okay, Gandhiji suspended the non-cooperation movement, okay. So that is all for today, and thank you and have a nice day.